From the Reagan Library, shh, to the Nixon Library. Get it right. AM 790 KABC.
Midday Live, Leeann Tweeden, Dr. Drew. We're speaking to Michele Hanisee, the president of the Association of Deputy District Attorneys. And Michele, let's take a little call here.
Go to school.
Nathan, go ahead.
Yeah, my thought is this. Currently, right now, all the stuff that's going on, why don't we have a politician that runs against and just says, look, we're not going to have anyone pay taxes anymore. What's the point of me paying my property taxes, my income taxes? Because they're not allowing it to go to where it's supposed to go. So what am I supposed to do? You're going to give it to these idiots, and then I got to sit there and deal with this?
I know.
Just to give you an example, my taxes from last year, I wrote a check to the state, delivered it with FedEx. They signed for it. They never cashed it. Then they sent me with a huge bill and said I owed them another $1,000 because they couldn't find my check. I go, I didn't lose it. Here's all the information. They go, it's not our problem. You need to pay it. I go, no, I won't. So now I'm in a lawsuit with the state going back and forth because they don't know what they do with my money that I paid them. So here's this is what bugs me, right? We have to sit there and deal with this, and they want to let all the criminals run wild. And I live, Beverly Hills adjacent. And basically last night I got an encampment setting up, and I have to go shoo it away and get them out of there. And they get violent with me. And today I go around the corner, and there's a lady who just got jumped by some transient, and there's 20 cops. And I'm like, what's going on? And no one's doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I say it all the time. I say it. And remember, I'm like, what if we just don't pay our taxes?
Right. It's like
but then we'd all get thrown in jail.
The public trust has been violated. The basic functioning of society just isn't there. And let's say you had an expensive piece of property, and because they allowed things to deteriorate around you, you lose. Why should you pay your taxes?
Exactly.
But Michele, you tell us.
Well, I think Nathan has an excellent point. The taxpayers are paying taxes with some expectations, and the number one responsibility of government is the safety of its citizens, basic safety. And that's what we're losing here. That's what we're losing. Think of the business owners in San Francisco who want to sell products, who want people to come into their store. Meanwhile, there's homeless people in tents camped on the sidewalk blocking the entry.
Right. And then they try to put out planters or something or boulders, and they're the ones that get reprimanded or fined because it's their problem.
Yeah, you saw that article too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Ridiculous. The council says, we see that there's a problem, but we're going to fine you anyways and tell you can't do that, even though we know that there's a problem. We'll try to figure out a different way to take care of it, but they won't.
Right. And it's not a crime to be a homeless person, nor should it be. But there is a public impact to it, and that impact is impacting the people like Nathan.
Right. So it's like, why are there expectations on people like us, but they don't put expectations on people like, people that are homeless? It's like, that's where the fall of civil society is going. Okay, you may be homeless or you may have problems, but when people stop putting expectations on them to get help or to let society get them help, that's when it's breaking down and falling apart and everybody's losing their collective minds.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to more so than the homeless issue, which is pervasive in California, the normalization of criminal conduct.
Right.
What is the whose philosophy are they following here? Where is that coming from?
I don't know. I mean, you're hearing it out of Sacramento. You're hearing it out of Washington. There seems to be it's society's fault, not the individual's fault concept here. But, society didn't steal your Amazon delivery off your porch. An individual made a choice to do that.
Oh, but it's the drugs. He's homeless. Oh, but, like we said, if we decided not to pay our taxes, or we decided not to stop at the stop sign, or if we decided to park in a no parking zone, we would get fined. We would get the ticket. We would get thrown in jail because we have to follow the laws. That's where we all are getting pissed off, right? It's because a select group of people get to break all the laws, yet we don't. That's when everybody's getting mad. That's what we keep hearing over and over again. We're waiting in line at Target. We're waiting in line at Ralph's. We're waiting in line at wherever you just name the store to pay for our goods that we work hard for, while the transient vagrant that's, stealing all the booze and waiting for his buddies out in his motorhome with all the drugs to just walk out the front door, and everybody's like, and nobody chases them. And then while our goods go up the next time we go in the store because they pass along the cost to us, that just makes us more angry. And then the cops don't even come out to arrest anybody for that because it's just a misdemeanor now. And there's so many calls on it that nobody even calls anymore. Stop loss doesn't go after them because it's not worth it. They're told to stand down. I mean, so this is the fraying of society's fabric. And then now I keep telling Drew, I'm like, when is the vigilantism going to come in? Because eventually somebody's going to snap. Somebody in our neighborhood's going to say, not anymore, not on my watch, and I'm just going to take it into my own hands. And then that's when all hell's going to break loose.
Well, I think that's what you were starting to see with people putting boulders on the sidewalks outside their homes in San Francisco.
But I mean, exactly I'm talking about like where people are just going to start running people over with their cars, or people are just going to,
Well,
whatever.
I have to discourage that.
Yes, no, I agree. But the anger is bubbling up. I'm just looking at my West Valley page, and people's got cameras all over their houses, and we see people with their hoodies up, and they've got camera or flashlights, and they're breaking into people's homes, going through their gates, breaking into their cars, stealing the stuff out of their backs of their truck, the tools out of their trucks. I mean, it's relentless. It's every day.
Part of the new apologist lingo, I don't know if you've heard this phrase, is crimes of necessity. Crimes of necessity.
Necessity for the next fix because they're addicts? That's my fault?
No district attorney in the state is prosecuting someone who's stealing food so they can eat it or feed their children. It's not done. It's not the policy of my office. That's when you get a pass. If you are so hungry you got to steal food to eat, guess what? We're going to give you a pass on that. We're talking about people who are these crowds of individuals who get together for this organized retail theft. They run into a retailer, grab tons of merchandise. Smash and grab. Tons of expensive merchandise, and then they take it and they, sell it on eBay or sell it at the swap meet.
Exactly.
So it's crime for profit.
And a lot of them are coming from other states because of the $950 or less, and they can do it multiple times a day. And I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, who are we favoring here in this state? Certainly not the taxpayer.
We're clearly favoring the criminals.
Exactly. And that's why they're coming.
At this point.
I'd love somebody to explain to me what that is, what the idea is behind
utopia,
that.
Dr. Drew.
Yeah, I know it's utopia we're creating. Well, Michele, thank you for spending a little time with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Michele.
And we no doubt we'll talk soon, okay?
Indeed.
You got it, Michele Hanisee, 800-222-5222. We'll get back with some calls. After the break, that's Leeann Tweeden. I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Midday Live, AM 790 KBC.